sir.
Now, taking you back to November 3rd of 2006, did you go to work into work that morning?
Yes, uh-huh.
Okay. Can you tell the jury what you saw on your route down Birchleaf to Penny Road?
Right. I was headed out, and I go very slowly because, well, the speed limit's only 25, but there's a lot of deer in the neighborhood, and they just walk around and feed around that time, and you really got to be on your guard there. So I was headed out, driving pretty slow, maybe 20, and was headed out. And normally everything is usually dark. I mean, it is dark at night. The light, the sun hasn't come up yet. And usually the neighborhood is pretty dark, a lot of trees and so forth, and not many lights or anything like that on, even in people's homes. But that particular night, as I approached that address, there was a car in the driveway at that address, and the pillar lights were on. They were at the end of that driveway, and the lights of the car was coming out of the driveway, facing forward. It wasn't like somebody was backing into the street. It was as if they were going to pull out face forward.
And this was at 5108 Birchleaf?
Yes, uh-huh.
About what time of morning was this?
That was probably around 5:20 or so, 5:25, something like that.
Okay. And so you saw this car, I guess, at the driveway?
Yes.
You said it was facing Birchleaf?
Correct.
Okay. What else did you observe?
Well, I drive with my bright lights on to look for deer, and immediately there's a little curve, like if this is the car, there's a little bit of a curve before you straighten back up again, and my bright lights hit the car, and there was two people in the car, a driver and a passenger. The passenger I assumed was a woman. I don't know. When my bright lights hit the passenger, that person quickly jerked their head away. It was, very obvious. And my first concern was, oh gosh, I've just blinded this person at this time of the morning on their way out, with my bright lights. And but that jerking motion away, so I didn't actually see the face, could tell anything about it. I'm just judging maybe by the hairstyle or whatever that it was a woman with them, but I don't know.
What was it about the hairstyle that made you think that? It
was thicker, about like mine, or, of course I could only really see from the shoulders up with the car, like it's built. But then the person was kind of talking to the driver, and kind of a motion like they're talking, and I'm concerned that they're upset that I've just blinded them, and
okay.
So I continued on.
All right, and this car you saw in the driveway at 5108 Birchleaf, what type of car? Can you describe that?
Well, to me, it reminded me of a soccer mom car. It was not a station wagon. It wasn't a sedan. It was one of those vehicles like you carry kids around in or something.
Okay.
I'm not good at cars either. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. And did you see anyone? You said you saw what you thought was a woman in the passenger seat?
Yes, there was a passenger, definitely. There were two people in the car, the driver and the passenger. I could not see anything in the back.
Okay. What about the driver? Did you see anything?
Yes, as I went on by, I was embarrassed about what had happened. So I purposely looked over to the end of the driveway where they are. I didn't know whether I should apologize or wave or say something, good morning, or, whatever, or what I might be met with either. But I looked, and there the driver was a white male, and I remember very vividly he had his hands on the steering wheel like this. And the lights from the dashboard was lighting up the hands like this. And again, the pillar lights that were there on each side of the car illuminated the car somewhat. That I thought initially I thought it was like a silver color vehicle. It could have been a shade of white out in the darkness. It appeared like that. It wasn't black or navy blue. It was a lighter color car.
Okay. And what else did you notice as you drove? I'm assuming you drove on past them.
Yes, we didn't exchange anything. It looked like the two were talking, and so immediately, and well, of course, my first concern after, when I first approached them was, are you paying attention and are you going to pull out in front of me? Because they were that close to, leaving the, pulling out, or what appeared to be they were going to pull out. And so I was concerned, like, are y'all paying attention? Then, the passenger jerks away. So when I go by, I look at them, and then immediately to my right on Blue Sage Drive is another vehicle, and it's lit up, and it's got lights shining across my path. It was a working type van, not like a passenger van necessarily, but a bigger, boxier type van, and it appeared to be maybe a little older model than this one in the driveway. And there was a man in the van. He had some papers or something spread across his steering wheel. He even had the inside dome light on. And so I'm like, well, is he paying attention? What's going on? In fact, I said to him, I said, what's going on this time of the morning? This corner area is lit up like a Christmas tree. And normally everything is quiet, serene, dark. So, and I looked over, and this vehicle to the right on Blue Sage was parked, had papers, newspapers or whatever, appeared to be maybe some kind of carrier, and he was reading something.
Okay. And I'm assuming you went on to work?
Yeah, I passed
Okay.
on by and just went on.
All right.